Okay, so today we have Pavement and Harness Your Hopes. So, I've not reacted to Pavement in a good while now, at least a few years, I want to say. I was in a different household the last time I reacted to them. And I don't know why it's taken me so long to come back to them. I reacted to Gold Sounds, which I really liked, the quirky kind of style they had. And I've seen Harness Your Hopes, and I guess I got big on TikTok and Spotify. And it was just a B-side that, again, became very big, and it even surprised the band. So I'm intrigued as heck. I want to get into this, talk about it after. Jack White mentioned Pavement in his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame speech, and again, that's what kind of made my brain get going, like, oh my god, Pavement, I gotta come back to them. My goodness. Anyway, so here we go. Let's get into it. There's no music video here. It's just the song. Let's go. Now. And I don't think I've heard it.
Only made for one. Don't telegraph your passes, you'll end up with molasses, cauterized in syrup and molasses. And I'm checking out the assets that attract us to anything that moves. We're deep inside the grooves, and it's time to shake the rations, cause someone's gonna cash in. The plot, it turns again, the reference starts at 10. Show me a word that rhymes with pavement, and I will kill your parents and roast them on a spit. And don't you try to etch it or permanently sketch it, or you're gonna catch a bad cold. And the freaks have stormed the White House. I moved into a lighthouse. It's on a scenic way. It's so far away from the beginning. The shroud is made of linen. The yearling took the purse. The goth kid has a hearse. Heartbreaking, earthquaking Kiwis, they are home baking. Minds wide open, truly. A leisure suit is nothing. It's nothing to be proud of in this late century. And I'm asking you to hold me just like the morning paper. Pinch between your pointer, your index and your thumb. It's a semi-automatic. Believers are ecstatic. You see the way they cling, the cold metallic sting. And I'm living in a coma, Madonna del Verona. The harness made of hopes, the lovers on the ropes. None is to church as the parrot is to perch, and my heart's wide open, truly.
Well, there it is. Pavement, Harness Your Hopes. Only 3.5 minutes long, and it's one of the weirdest 3.5 minutes of my life, I would say. I just think about, again, that rise to popularity out of nowhere, and how it even surprised the band and Stephen Malkmus, I believe is how you say his last name, it's Stephen. And I think about the story that he said he was in a bakery with his daughter, I think, and he heard the song on the radio, and he thought it was Rolling Stones, I think he said, and then he realized, oh no, that's me, that's my band. And again, I think he said it's the song that he kind of forgot about, which is nuts, because, I mean, you write all these songs, and you, I guess, maybe not all of them. You don't care if they're perfect or whatever, but then you forget about one that's kind of funny. But yeah, so even that surprised him, and the fame that the song has brought the band again, or whatever the hell surprised them. And I just think about, why is it big, or why did it strike a chord? I don't know why. I never really searched it up, or what the reason was, or who started the trend for the song Harness Your Hopes, or if there's a dance to it. I don't know. It is very danceable, I would say. I mean, there's that kind of lackadaisical, and I know, and I always like to say this, but lackadaisical can have a negative connotation or whatever, but lackadaisical to me is just a laid back guitar feel. It's an indie rock banger. I mean, you got those indie rock feels, if that makes any sense there. It's very friendly sounding. It's very simple. It's very rhythmic. It's very soothing in a way as well. I mean, the bass work here, I do think about, is very prominent and bold behind those two guitars. I do believe there's two guitars here. Yeah, looking at the personnel, Steven and Scott Camberg are both on guitars. But I just really enjoy, yeah, the bass underneath those things, and I could hear it very well. And again, from the guitar work, like I talked about, lackadaisical, like I talked about, just very simple, and nothing's overbearing. I mean, it's not like John Bonham's going to town on the drums here. You got Steve West there on the drums, from what I'm reading on the personnel, and he's very playful. He's very tasteful. The whole band is playful and tasteful. The whole song, the lyrics are playful. The lyrics are the imagery with the lyrics is just going off the chain here as well. And I feel like everything kind of has to be on the down low, or everything has to be a little bit friendly or nice, or sound kind of accessible. I mean, that's what it is to me. I don't know if I already said that or not, but accessible is the word I'm really looking for here. And maybe that's why people gravitated towards it, because it's maybe the band's most accessible track, because the last song I did listen to them, I was a bit quirky. It was a bit odd, and that's what I expected to hear again. And I got that, because these lyrics are quirky and odd, but the song, though, the sonically and musically, the sound is very accessible, and it's very soothing, and all the stuff I said. So, and it has to be too, like I was going to say, because Steven's voice, I mean, it's almost like there's that talk singing in a way. I mean, he is singing, of course, but it's not like he's going nuts. I mean, his voice is so quirky, and his voice is just so, I mean, it doesn't really feel like he's putting on a voice of, trying to be a great singer, like he's Axl Rose or whatever. He's just having fun with it, and he's just going his own way and just going at his own pace. And I got to burp, hold the phone. Too much Coke Zero. But anyway, yeah, he's going at his own pace here with his voice. I mean, you can hear some voice cracks in there too. And I think about another quote that I read about the song from him, where he said, along with these lyrics, he was being a bit cocky on purpose, because he didn't think the song was going anywhere. He knew it was going to be a B-side. He didn't think, again, that all these years later, I believe in 2020 or whatever is when it got big, and he didn't think that was going to happen. It was just kind of a forgettable song. He didn't even put it on the album. And it was kind of I forget the way he put it, but just for no reason really at all, he just said, well, let's not put it on. And so yeah, he's kind of said he made all these metaphors, made all this imagery just for fun, because again, the song was just kind of a fun thing to do. And he wasn't trying to put a hit out, whatever. The band wasn't trying to put a hit out there, and all of a sudden here you are. But yeah, so there's that kind of feel of, there's no urgency here. There's no bad feeling. There's no negativity, really. Even though we're talking about heartbreak here, we're talking about disillusionment. I know there's these lyrics may be nonsensical to some or whatever, but obviously, I mean, I'm going to try to go through them soon here. But obviously, some of these metaphors, similes, whatever it is, the imagery is important, and they are saying something. And at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like this whole song is about the end of a relationship, and it's about this guy just wanting to be held and loved. I don't know if it's Steven himself or what, but because I do believe he did write the lyrics. But yeah, at the end of the day, they are saying something, although the lyrics are a bit crazy. But yeah, I just love how kind of carefree it all is, and especially with that intro with the shalalas and the and I don't know, just the vocalizations he was doing. I was like, there's a carefree kind of jovial spirit to it, and it's just, I don't know, it just grabs you. And maybe that's why people gravitated towards it all of a sudden, because before it got big, I think the only people who knew it would be big Pavement fans. I don't even know if casual fans would have known about it, but anyway, or would have even liked it. So I'm looking at the personnel here just to mention everybody, because I've mentioned a couple of them, but here we go. Stephen Malcolmus, like I said, on vocals and guitar. Bob, might mess this up, but I can't talk. Nastanovich? My God, I don't know why I'm having a hard time, but Bob is on percussion and keyboards, it says here. Scott Canberg is on vocals and guitar. And again, this is for the whole album, but again, this did not appear on the album, but it was the B-side to one of the songs on the album, so I would imagine this is the same personnel. Anyway, Steve West on drums and percussion. I did mention Steve. And Mark Eibold, I would imagine, is on bass guitar there. And like I said, Mark's sound, I did really enjoy it underneath the guitar work, and he was groovy himself too. Wanted to talk about groove in those lyrics, but it's a groovy, danceable tune with a simple rhythm and just feel good kind of sound. Although the lyrics might not be also feel good because we're talking about heartbreak, to me anyway. So let's get into these lyrics. This might be a struggle here, and I apologize if I get some things wrong or whatever, because there's a lot of meanings, or there's a lot of metaphors, there's a lot of sayings, all these different things. So my goodness, Pavement is quite a band. So here we go. Harness your hopes, and of course, though, before that, you had the intro with the shalalalas and all that stuff. But with the first verse, harness your hopes on just one person, because you know a harness was only made for one. And the way he just delivers this is only made for one. Da, 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 da. I just love the vocal melody too. It's just so catchy. Anyway, don't telegraph your passes. You'll end up with molasses. Cauterize in syrup and molasses. And I know he's saying something, but I'll get to it at the end of this first verse. I'll read. And I'm checking out the asses. I mean, relatable. The assets that attract us to anything that moves. We're deep inside the grooves. And hello. And it's time to shake the rations. And I believe he did voice crack on rations, which I enjoyed. Because someone's going to cash in. The plot, it turns again. And the reference starts at 10. Now, I might not get every line here of what he's meaning to say, but I apologize for that. But I mean, when you talk about harness your hopes just on one person, go after just one person that you love, I would imagine, because a harness is only made for one person, or I guess for one animal. I guess when you talk about a harness, I mean, my God, don't telegraph your passes. You'll end up like molasses, like I said, in syrup and molasses. It doesn't work out very well. You get into a sticky situation, perhaps. Maybe don't telegraph your passes. Don't I mean, just go about these things, or approach somebody you like, and don't have big intentions, maybe, or just go about it like a normal person, or go about it very, what the hell is the word I'm looking for? Don't be too aggressive, maybe, in a way too, and just see what happens. Because if you telegraph your passes, if you go through your mind what you want to happen when you go up to a person, maybe you'll end up with molasses, and that's not good at all. And then I guess with the next part, I'm checking out the asses and the assets that attract us. I mean, is that just as straightforward as it seems? He likes to check out these people, whatever that he's attracted to. We're deep inside the grooves. I think about the grooving of the dancing. I think about grooves on a vinyl. I mean, are we talking about music in particular? Are we talking about the song and how groovy it can be as well? To anything that moves, does he like to move with the groove? I mean, my God, as well. And then the last part there, and it's time to shake the rations because someone's going to cash in. I think about maybe if you don't go after this person, somebody else might cash in on them. Somebody else might grab them from you. But anyway, and the reference starts at 10. I mean, some of the stuff I don't understand, but I have a bit of a, I guess, overall maybe knowing what's going on here. But we go to the second verse. Well, show me a word that rhymes with pavement, and I won't kill your parents and roast them on a spit. I mean, very graphic, but yeah, and I won't roast them on a spit. I mean, my God, some people might not want to, rhyme a word there. Some people probably don't like their parents. But anyway, and don't you try to etch it or permanently sketch it. And again, when his voice would rise, I don't know, I just really enjoyed that, where he became not angry, but he just got a bit more animated. It was just fun to me. We're going to catch a bad cold, and the freaks have stormed the White House. That aged like milk. Or maybe that aged well, I guess you should say. Anyway, I moved into a lighthouse. It's on a scenic quay, and I don't think that's how you say that word, but he did it that way because it rhymes with it's so far away. Far away from the beginning, the shroud is made of linen. And again, the shroud is made of linen. I don't know, the way he would say that word, again, I think he had a voice crack. It's just, I don't know, it's just like your friend singing a song, your friend down the street having a crack at singing, and you're just into it. The yearling took the purse, the goth kid has a hearse. And some of these words, some of these lines, whatever, they seem to just go because they rhyme. And it's like, I don't know if they all have meaning or not, but my God, I don't know. One of the rounds of pavement, and I won't call your parents and roast them on a spit. Now I've got to go through it again and just make sure I understand everything that's going on. So after analyzing it again through the pause there, as I have another little burp, I just think about how we're trying to rhyme a word with pavement, and how all those words kind of half rhymes, and maybe that kind of talks about the whole song, and how you can never really find a perfect word, or maybe you can never find a perfect love, and how imperfect this song seems to be, and that's the whole goddamn point of it all. You're gonna catch a bad cold, and the freaks to storm the White House. Again, I don't know if all these things have meaning. I moved into a lighthouse. It seems like, again, he seems sad. And I moved into a lighthouse. It just seems like whether he moved away into a lighthouse or not, it seems like he's lonely. The loneliness is really coming through here, I would say. Far away from the beginning of this relationship, you might say. Again, the yearling took the purse and the goth kid has a hearse. I mean, again, we're talking about bereavement. Are we talking about just sadness, loneliness? All those things come to mind. I don't know. I'm trying my best here. But with the chorus here, heartbreaking, earthquaking, Kiwis, they are home baking, minds wide open truly. And that mind's wide open truly runs in with the second chorus at the end there when he says, my heart's wide open truly. Again, the mind's wide open, his heart's wide open. It seems like he really wants someone to come and pick him up. And especially even because it seems like at points he's done with a relationship, or maybe that relationship ended a while back. But at the end of the day, his mind and his heart are still open. He's hoping for somebody to come see him. Earthquake and Kiwis. I mean, I know Kiwis, people in New Zealand, I think it is, are called Kiwis. They are home baking. I don't know if that's a reference to drugs or not, but either way, and I do believe the band did experiment with drugs. And I mean, are you surprised? I mean, some of these lyrics, my God. Then we have the last verse here, the third one, leisure. A leisure suit is nothing. And I know leisure suits were popular in the 1970s, and of course they were a fad. So then the next line, there's nothing to be proud of in this late century, because the song did come out in the late 90s. So wearing a leisure suit now is nothing to be proud of. You'd probably look like a weirdo. And I'm asking you to hold me just like the morning paper. Hold me like the morning paper. I mean, that seems pretty straightforward. Pinch between your pointer, your index, and your thumb. And I believe your pointer and your index are the same finger, usually anyway. It's a semi-automatic. Believers are ecstatic. You see the way they cling to the cold metallic sting. And it does seem like believers, I think about Christians, you might want to say there, are ecstatic about their beliefs, whatever. It seems like he wishes he was as ecstatic or as attached as they go on to say in the second chorus, none is to church and the parrot's the perch. He wishes he had somebody that was like his perch. He wishes he had somebody that was like his church. And again, it just comes to my mind there when he talks about how believers are ecstatic, and he wishes he could be so ecstatic too. I mean, that comes in my big fat head as well. You see the way they cling to the cold metallic sting. And then before that, though, and I'm living in a coma for Donna de Verona. And there is an annotation. I mean, there's a lot of annotations here, but I didn't want to read any of them because that would take for frickin' ever. That's something I used to do, which was, I mean, not... I don't do it anymore. But anyway, Donna de Verona is an American former competition swimmer, Olympic gold medalist, former world record holder, and television sportscaster. And around this time in 1997, she was the chairman of the FIFA Women's World Cup. So she was a figure, especially back then, around the time the song was made. So I guess he's in a coma for Donna de Verona, and I guess maybe he has a crush on her. And then it goes on, the hardest made of hopes, the lovers on the ropes. And again, that's where I talk about, it seems like, although, again, he wants to be held, he wants to be cuddled, he wants to be loved, all these different things, and it seems like the lovers on the ropes, his previous relationship, I want to say, is over because the lovers are on the ropes. I mean, seems like the relationship is over. And then, like I talked about there, then you go into the last chorus there. None is the church as the prayer is the purse, and my heart is wide open truly. Again, even though it seems like he's been hurt and all these things, it seems like he still wants to be loved once more. He'll go through these emotions once more, and whatever happens, happens. And anyway, then again, you had the instrumental outro there with, like I talked about, that tumbling almost guitar. And that really reminded me of the Rolling Stones, or just at least some 60s vibes anyway. So I guess that's all I'm going to say. I mean, I don't know. Just leave your comments down below, of course, of what you think about the song. Again, like I said, I think I know about the whole overarching feel of it and the vibe and the sound and the meaning, I guess. Like I talked about disillusionment, heartbreak, relationships here, wanting to be loved, wanting to be held, and wanting to have a harness to put on somebody. I mean, my God, if they're into that, what the hell? But yeah, so it's just nuts. So coming back to Pavement finally, and it did not disappoint. And I just love the whole story behind it, the whole background of how it all of a sudden it just rose from the ashes of obscurity and became their biggest track all of a sudden, at least online and such. And anyway, I guess I'll have to come back to them again sometime in the future. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all those things. And I'll talk to you guys again soon.